Hey everybody, welcome to astronomy, and yeah, let's get going. First off, I should say that I'm Professor Robison. You can feel free to address me as Greg, as Dr. Greg, as Dr. Robison. I mean, however you feel most comfortable, you won't offend me by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, good. I've put this introductory video together in order to start walking us through the course, getting us all oriented the same way so that we can get the semester started off with a bang. I assume that since you have signed up for a summer course, that you are familiar with Moodle and how to actually navigate around. Interestingly enough, they have updated Moodle to a new course shell, and so I will go ahead and display that for you right here. Now, of course, since you're enrolled in this class, you should have the Astronomy 165 class available. So I'll go ahead and open that up. Being an online course, I have tried to put all of the material necessary on Moodle for you. And so let's take a couple of minutes and walk through some of those resources just so that you know where to find things. And of course, the first one would be the syllabus for the course. So I'll go ahead and open that up in a flyout window and we'll take a gander here. And yeah, so let's walk through. First of all of the contact information for me is listed over here on the left-hand column. This is replicated in the banner section of Moodle, and you'll notice that I have gone ahead and embedded some hyperlinks in here. So for example, if you want to schedule a meeting with me, we can go ahead and click on Teams and we should be able to get a meeting going. Or if you prefer to just email me a question, there's another way to do that, but I have my email address, that kind of stuff. Also over here on the left-hand side are the materials that I expect us to use for the course. Now, I have tried to be conscious about choosing resources that are freely available to the public. That would include these recorded lecture videos, but also if you prefer, if you're somebody that also likes to have supplementary information via a book, I've used the OpenStax book generated by Rice University. And again, those are a free resource available to us. In fact, if you click on the link, you can find the website for the book. You can even download a PDF copy of the book if you prefer, or of course, if you want a physical copy, then you have to actually pay for the paper and the printing, but the actual resource of the information is free. So there's that available for you. Same thing, lab exercises will generally consist of using a program referred to as Stellarium. It is an open source, a free program for planetariums. And that resource is right here. Now, you will have to download this to your computer, whether it be a Windows or a Mac version. The caveats that I will give to you is number one, this Stellarium web version doesn't have the full functionality, and so that is not the program that you can use. And second of all, the second caveat is I am a Windows person. And so a lot of the instructions that I have given in the various lab exercises will be for a Windows-based computer. There is a similar command in Apple. It's just that you would probably have to the menu buttons will be a little bit different, or they might be labeled slightly differently. So that might require you to explore just a little bit. Again, if you get really stuck, you can email me and I can try to help you out. But it's a little bit more complicated just because I don't have a Mac, and so I'll have to YouTube or Google, that kind of thing. I'm going to do the same thing that you're probably already doing. So in any case, other than that, all of the other materials that you will need for this course, I will post at some point on Moodle, or it's already there, and we'll walk through the rest of the page just so you can see. On the right-hand side, the thing that you're probably already eyes are drawn to is how am I going to grade this course? And so what I have here for you is a breakdown of the grades. Now, I've tried to normalize the course so it'll be out of 1,000 points, and so it's really easy to figure out at any given point in time where is my grade out of 1,000 points. But yeah, here's the breakdown for you. Now, part of this, of course, I have elected to do a course asynchronously. That is, I have these videos recorded so that you should be able to watch them as they fit into your schedule. I've tried to keep them somewhere around the 20-minute mark. Sometimes they go a little bit longer, sometimes a little bit shorter, but plan on saying something like 2 20-minute videos a day for the next, what is it, about 25 days, something like that. Okay, so that's the video completion. In the videos, there are two things to take note of. Number one is that at the end of the video, or excuse me, the videos have embedded quiz questions in them. So every once in a while, the video is going to stop and ask you a question based on the information that you just received. Now, don't worry, these are not graded, but these are, hey, you need to think about the information you just got and apply it, okay? So I have one drawn up here, and, it's say, I don't know, I haven't read the question here. Identify the alpha star in the constellation below. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it poses a question, and then you should be able to hit check, and it will tell you, hey, yes, you're right, no, you're not right. And then it should allow you to continue on. So you can click, and then the video will continue forward. That's
you got it?
One piece. Excuse me, I forgot to mute that. The second piece, get that one out of the way. The second piece with the embedded videos is when you get to the end of the video. And when you get to the end of the video, it's going to have something like a summary dialogue. And I think most of the time this should pop up automatically. Every once in a while, like this video, I forgot to have it do that. But the other important part is that at the end of the video, you have to say that you've completed the summary dialogue. Okay? And so what happens is as you answer the quiz questions, it's keeping a record of your answers, but it hasn't actually submitted them all. That's what the summary dialogue does, is that it says, hey, submit all the answers to my questions. If you have not gotten to the summary dialogue, it will not give you credit for completing the video. Okay? So you have to make sure that the summary dialogue gets submitted. And the other thing is that these videos do not allow you to skip backwards or skip forwards. Unfortunately, a previous class abused the ability to skip forwards and backwards, and so I had to take it away. Okay? Now you say, but Greg, what happens if I want to go back and review a part of the video? The other nice thing about these videos is that they are hosted on YouTube, and so you can navigate directly to YouTube.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another round of astronomy. Yeah.
And on YouTube, you can certainly fast forward and rewind and jump around. Okay, so that part you can do on YouTube. It's just that if you want credit for watching the video and answering the questions, you have to access the video in Moodle. Okay? So yeah, I apologize for that, but I mean, you can imagine people would skip forward to the quiz questions, answer them, and it would take them a minute to watch a 30-minute video. So I had to take that privilege away. Okay. So that's the video section. And you'll notice, let me back out here so that we can actually see it. You'll notice that these videos are posted at different locations in the page. So I'll go ahead and jump down to the star stuff, and you see star chart 1. I've tried to give you a title and how long the video will be. And again, when you open that up, it will launch that player and start playing for you. Now, these titles here should match the titles, and I'll skip down, found in the syllabus. So you have the introductory video. Let's get that out of the way. You have the introductory video, this one, but then star chart 1 matches the title given in the Moodle page. So that should be fairly easy to read the schedule and understand what you have to complete. So that's the video completion. The participation is the second thing. I'm trying something slightly new. I used to have a forum on Moodle where you would have to post your questions, but there was I talked to some professors and they convinced me that that might not be the easiest way to do things, in the sense of students would have to sit down, log into Moodle, find the forum, yada, yada, yada. So I'm trying something new, and it's this GroupMe. Now, this is an app that can be downloaded to your phone, and I have created an Astronomy 165 summer group. Okay, so you can see I'm a member right now. And what I'm going to do is I am going to monitor this chat within our group, and I'm going to look at, are you participating? By that, what I mean is, are you posting questions that you had during the video, and are you responding to other people's questions? I'm trying to create a learning community here where if one person has a question, hopefully somebody else has an answer and that you can respond to that. Of course, I myself will also be on here so I can respond to questions if I see that they're really good or that nobody else is responding to them. But this is just a way that I want us to be able to help each other out. And of course, since I'm asking you to spend some time on this, I'm also going to reward you accordingly for that participation. So that's what this 8% is here. I'll try to go through probably twice a week, maybe on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'll scroll through the chat and say, okay, this person asked questions and answered questions. This person answered questions and asked questions, that kind of thing. The other one is every once in a while, I'll probably just post something fun. I mean, I've got plans over the summer too, so I'll probably share some of those with you just so you can see. And feel free, if you're doing something kind of cool or interesting or different, feel free to post something in there. Let your classmates know what's going on in your life. Of course, the other side of that is that I expect people to respect, privacy, that kind of thing. So if you're sharing something, please, the rest of us, please keep that just within the class, So any case, so there's that. Homework, I've already talked about to a small, I haven't talked about it, but it's the same similar idea, is that homework assignments are also posted on Moodle. You'll see that here, lecture homework, so it's kind of blah, and then units and tens. That label should also match on the schedule on the last 2 pages of the syllabus. So we see over here under the date that I expect you to have something done, it has the video titles, but then it also has this homework units and tens. So I expect you to have watched enough videos and be able to complete this by Wednesday. Okay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now you'll notice that I say expect you to complete. I have set up in Moodle expected completion dates for the homework assignments. What I mean by that is this is the date that I expect you to have it done. You say, well, duh, Greg. Now here's the issue. What happens if you don't make it, if you miss that date? Okay, the homework assignment will still be accessible to you. Okay? You can still go in, you can still complete it. It's going to give you 100%, or there's not going to be a penalty. And the reason I have it set up like that is because I recognize that over the summer, or just any time, that stuff comes in, life happens. I get it. Nora and Graham have baseball practice and baseball games, and so sometimes something's going to come up and you're not going to be able to make that expected completion date. The only thing that happens is that you will not see the assignment on the upcoming events. Once you miss the expected completion date, the assignment will disappear from that upcoming events thing. Okay, it's still accessible. You still can go in and complete it. It's just going to disappear there. Now, I give you the expected completion date so that you understand what my expectation is, and also those are there to help keep you pacing through the course. Okay. This is not meant for you to wait for 3 weeks to completely ignore the course and then do everything on a Friday night. Okay. That is not what those are set up to do. Okay. Good. Now I'll come back over here. Of course, laboratories, I have got these set up as lessons in Moodle. So I'm going to open up this course index, and you see that right here on the top, I have laboratory lessons. So I'll go ahead and jump there. And again, those laboratories that I have listed in the schedule. So you see right here, labs, inclinometer, construction, and stellarium. I expect you have those done by Sunday night of this week. Now, that doesn't mean do them both on Sunday. That means sometime during the week you should do both of them. Okay. Now, they're set up as lessons in Moodle. Okay, let's get that. So I'll jump back over here. They're set up in lessons as Moodle, and you should be able to open these, and they will walk you through step by step the lab exercise. Okay. Sometimes there's audio, sometimes there's video. There will be, hey, if you're really interested in this, here's a YouTube video that you might find interesting, those kind of things. There's also some questions in there to make sure that, hey, stop. Again, think about what you're doing. What did you just learn? Apply it right here. Okay. Those questions are ungraded. You can take as many attempts as you want at them, but they all have to be completed in order for you to receive credit for doing the lab. Okay, so you have to do all of the questions. It won't let you go forward in the lab until you finish all the questions and then get completion. Once you have completed the lab, you should see something show up in the lab homework section. So once you complete the inclinometer lab, you'll have the homework pertaining to that lab show up in the laboratory homework. Now, right now, you only see one lab and you only see one homework. Once you complete this inclinometer lab, a second lab will show up in this section, and a second lab homework will show up in the laboratory homework section. Okay, I've just done that just to ease the visual clutter in the entire page. So there's about 10 lab exercises, again, listed in the schedule on the syllabus, and they'll show up here as you complete them. Okay, so you complete the last one, a new one will show up. So there's that. What we have left are a draft and a final report. This is something that's new. I'm trying it different. And the whole point here is I want you to find some astronomy topic that interests you and then tell me about it. Okay, so yes, this is an exercise in writing. That is a secondary kind of thing. What I want you to do is, I've been curious about this. Here's why I'm curious about it. And then you actually have to go out and do a little bit of research and write something up. Okay? Now, the couple things. I want you to choose something that has a lot of, I guess the lack of a better term, I think of intersection with other ideas. So intersection in the sense of, here's an astronomy topic, but it has all of these other dimensions from other majors, other fields that are really interesting. For example, I'll give you one that I was thinking about is the 30-meter telescope. It's a telescope being constructed in Hawaii, or at least that was the initial plans, but it has been blockaded because people are protesting on cultural grounds. So the idea that where they propose to place the telescope is for lack of a better term, I'll say a cultural heritage site from the indigenous culture. And so there's been a lot of conflict about that. Now you say, well, where's the conflict come in? They have gotten all of the construction approval and environmental approval, but then there's other people that are saying, no, there's this other aspect that you failed to consider. So that would be something that would be interesting to see somebody examine and write up a paper about, especially if you're interested in that kind of astronomy and cultural kind of intersection. Okay? There's plenty of these things out here. The idea is I want you to get curious and be curious enough for that to actually drive you to do a little research and type up a paper for me. So you see we have a draft and a final report. The draft is due in, say, about 3 weeks or so, the final report at the end of the term. Okay. Now, you can do multiple drafts. That's perfectly fine, but you need to at least submit one to me for comment and for feedback. Okay. The writing process is not very successful if you only do one and then you're done. Okay. So there's that. Of course, exams, we have 3 of those. Again, they're posted on Moodle. And the big thing here, I will point out, okay, and you see it, the big thing here is that the point of homework is to get ready for the exams, right? I want you to learn information. The homework checks your ability or your conceptual grasp of that information. It's a low stakes opportunity to figure out what's missing. And then you can take the exams. Okay. So although I have expected completion dates, the exams, there are set times that you're supposed to be able to take these exams. Okay. I think it's Wednesday through Sunday of the of the second week. Okay. So I'll have this available from Wednesday until Sunday of the second week of class. You can open that exam at any point between Wednesday and Sunday and take it. Okay. It will be timed. So once you open it, I don't care when you take it in that day range. Once you open it, you'll have 90 minutes to complete it. Okay. But you have to have the homeworks done before you can open the exam. So that's what this says here. Here are a list of activities and homeworks that must be completed before you can access the exam. And you notice this will not let me click on it yet. Okay. So you must complete those before you can do the exam. So the due dates for the homeworks are the exam dates. So you have 2 weeks of flexibility there. Same thing, after you finish this first exam, the second exam will become visible. And again, there are homework assignments associated with that exam. And once you finish those, then you can access the exam to complete it. Okay? So the rest of this, just, statement on self-care, academic honesty, presenting work as your own when it's been done by something else is a no-no. I don't expect this to be a problem, but if it is, there's a policy in place. And as I've kept referring to, probably the last 2 pages, the schedule is probably the most important. That schedule, again, the titles replicate what titles I've used on Moodle. That schedule should also, if you don't want to pull that up, should also be indicative of this calendar that keeps hiding on me. So that calendar should also replicate the schedule. Okay. So I think that's enough. I apologize for being a talking head for 20 some odd minutes, but I think that should be enough to get us rolling. If you have questions, concerns, burning desires of the heart, go ahead, go into GroupMe, ask the question. If it's something, I would expect questions pertaining to the structure of the course. I will answer as soon as I can. And hopefully that'll be a resource so that all of the students in the class can see that. So, hey, welcome. Let's have a good summer and get this thing rolling. So I'll see you next time.